Hey everyone, Mike Katz here with the trader takeaways for today, Thursday, going into tomorrow, Friday, obviously. Nice weekend coming up, and earnings is starting to be in full force. Lots of symbols reporting. We had a couple of symbols today that worked really well. We'll go over that real quick today. So, quick glance at SPY. We had the overnight move to the downside. Woke up this morning, saw the action that had happened overnight while most traders were asleep, and said, "Oh man, too bad. We missed out on some decent action overnight." And then the market just ended up going sideways and ended up rallying back nicely, and trapping a lot of shorts probably again. You look at a symbol like NVDA, and this is another a symbol that yesterday was down $4, came all the way back. Today it was down $5, came all the way back. And it's just not been a fun time in general for the shorts in this market. And for now, that's the theme until it changes. So we got to be careful with that. And when nobody expects it, when everybody's thinking, oh, this market's never going to go down, that's when it will. But for now, it's just a lot of strength and a lot of buying the dips is what keeps on working. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as short-term traders, what's nice is that we could always adjust and turn on a dime and refocus where we have to. And if the market does top out and sell off, we maybe won't catch the first leg, but at least we'll be able to react pretty quickly. So real quick, let's look at a couple of symbols that worked pretty well today. I had a couple of that were A plus setups, and I want to go over it real quick. IMMY, IMMY is a symbol that was in play today. Pharmaceutical. They had their generic drug. It's supposed to replace Restasis, I think it is, and initially got a good pop, good PR, and it just didn't hold. Looking at the daily chart, weak looking chart, and we take that into account. Coming into this morning, we had a pop, and what we saw here, I saw this on the scanner, was making new highs, just ripping up, and I think I saw it by the time it was already here. At that point, I put on a feeler on the short side, right around here. So as we saw the stock top out, put in a nice topping tail on volume. I put in a feeler 35s, small position, just a starter, so that if it does want to top out here, I have something to start with. And once I remember actually working a little bit. That's right, it worked a little bit. Came in, but I covered only a little bit of that starter on this turning point. And now I was thinking, okay, we're probably gonna have to retest the highs. I'm not gonna take any more off. And I sized in 50, and then over here on this bar, it looked like it got rejected by 50. So I sized in some more, put a stop. I think my exit was 85. And over here, I just started trading around a core. Still didn't get too big, and just started selling on some strength, covering on weakness. Still position pretty small. And at this point here, it started topping out, and it never really reached 85. Double topped here, going sideways. And let's see, I want to show you guys something that I thought was interesting. I saved this as a drawing where when it came down, I was thinking, are we going to get a descending triangle where we make a lower high here versus here? And I remember making the drawing saying, okay, maybe that will happen. And then I'm thinking already in the back of my head, yeah, that's going to be my A plus setup, where we get that descending triangle, we break it, cover some into the wash, and then pile in on a retest of this level. But I even drew it out thinking what might happen from this point, right? I said, okay, if we come down here to 215-ish, bounce, make a lower high, break it, cover on the wash, and then boom, get in, size in on A plus setup, right? As it tests the level. But I was very flexible with it, saying if this happens, then this is going to be my plan. I wasn't saying that this is what's going to happen. And that's what exactly, in my opinion, trading should be like. It should be a lot of if-then statements, a lot of statements saying, if this happens, then I will react like this, as opposed to saying, I think this is what's going to happen, therefore I'm going to put this position on. So I remember saving that drawing set. So when it did not turn out to be that setup, and then when it rallied to new highs, I didn't want to lose track of it, and I saved a new drawing set. And right here, I still had 85 in mind, and it failed here at 270. At this point, I sold some more into this lift when I saw this topping tail right here. Let me give you a better view of that. Right there. When this topping tail on volume failed at the highs, I said, okay, this could be a good spot to add some versus 85. And ended up going a little bit higher, came pretty close to stopping me out. And I remember at this point I put my stop in. I had a decent size position, and I walked over to refill my coffee, thinking that there's no point in me watching it. I'll just get stressed out. I'm better off just putting in a stop and walk away. If it works out, great. If not, then hey, the stop will take me out. It'll just be another trade and no reason to stress over it. So went to refill my coffee into the kitchen, came back, and this thing had come down here, spiked down, failed at the highs, and now I'm getting more and more excited about the trade. Covered some into the swash, low 40s, went back to core position, and at this point it dropped till here. I didn't cover anymore, and we got a bounce. And on this bounce, we ended up making a lower high versus here, and now it's starting to look like my descending triangle that I'm looking for. Consolidates down here at the level. I remember adding here through 220, sized in. And the stop was still here now. I moved it to 55. And once it broke through, covered some on the washout, still kept the core. And here is my A plus setup that I wanted to see, that I was waiting for. Right here, that's my A plus setup, which I loaded the boat here. I got really heavy. I trimmed down here to core position, maybe even a little bit less, and used this lift. I put out orders. I stacked out orders starting from 15 all the way up to 20, and got filled on that rip. At this point, I had orders out, and I had a stop to cover 35s above this level right here for that add position from here. And I figured this was a great time to go grab lunch, grab some sushi. Came back and watching this position on my phone. Remember in the 20s, a lot of volume traded, and it just failed. It couldn't hold the 20 bid, and got another washout. And at this point I was like, yes, got a nice big position on, covered some into this wash, covered more here. I even shorted back some here and covered more into the wash. On this level, I tried to get some, but I was too late. I tried to get some above 2. I didn't get any more, so just the last remaining small chunk, about 20% of the original position I covered on the close, and I was done with that. So I want to show you guys the trade from yesterday, DRIO, where I was unhappy with my performance. We had the same setup here, and I said to myself, all right, I'm going to go home, review what I did, and see if I could do it better. What I was unhappy with was I did size in here, but I covered into the wash, and I covered as it curled back up, thinking the move was over, and I wanted to see if there's any merit to sizing back in on this move as long as we are below that level, because most people who trade in this consolidation on the long side are stuck, right? So I went home, reviewed, and came back with fresh rules that we made the adjustments. And today, glad to say that the position in the IMMY paid off, and It was a really nice trade, probably the trade of the week, if not the trade of the month, and glad that this worked out. So reviewing what I did, going back and see if I need to tweak my rules, and that was really powerful. And now my confidence will grow in this setup, and I'll be able to get bigger and recognize it earlier because of that exercise. So IMMY was great. Let's see, our run time's getting a little bit longer, so I'm not going to spend too much time on CRBP. I'll just point out that this was another nice one, selling into strength and covering some into the wash. Started looking like a descending triangle, but just ran out of time. Wasn't enough selling pressure, so I covered the rest on the close. Was thinking of taking some home on the short side, but I just went home flat, thinking that, hey, maybe we'll get another chance tomorrow. Daily not closing well, which is why I wanted to take it home, but I passed on it. So hopefully, if we get a little green open and selling resumes, I think that could be another good setup. So I think we'll pause here. We don't want to get the video going too long. A couple of really nice setups, good exercise with the review, and keep growing as a trader. One of the guys online was asking me, how long have you been doing this, Mike? I said for 20 years, but I've been learning every day since, and that's what we got to do as traders. Get better every day, learn every day, and improve our process and adjust. Whatever is working, do more. Whatever is not working, do less of that. Thank you guys for watching the takeaway. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your likes, and we look forward to hearing more comments.